Hey, welcome everybody. This is Mr. Lang, and I'm in my computer science and software engineering class, and I am going to show you for this vlog a little bit about our Infotech Center that we have started to create. We're not done with it yet, but you know what? This is a good time to kind of show what we are doing. I'm going to start in my main branch. Mine says master, my student says main, they have an update. So master, main, same thing. I'm going to start in this branch. Now when I'm in this branch, I then am going to load up a piece of software that shows me kind of what, well, let's try that. Oh, I'm clicking on the wrong thing. My PyCharm, and this shows me the program that is actually in my main branch. This is out in production. This is what people are actually, if they are driving a new car, they have a satellite connected to Wi-Fi, their programs get beamed down to their cars and they've got a new update on their system. All right, so this is our production. This is only in our main branch. We never program in our main branch. That's only for us to merge things into. So let me kind of show you where we started with this. And we started back on our welcome branch. And I'm going to check this out. So when I check this out, we have a few commits. So if I follow my commits over here on my welcome branch, that follows this purple line down to our initial print statements. So if I click on this and look at my Infotech Center, I added just a couple quick print statements. If I go to my PyCharm, I now see just those couple quick print statements on there. All right, because I checked that out. I'm now going to go, well, I should say, if I go to Get Crackin', you guys, that's just what I added. If I go to File View, you can see just the file, not what is different. I'm going to go ahead and check out my next branch here, or my next commit, and this is where we imported the time library. So I'm going to go to my Infotech Center, and I imported in green here my time library. If I go to my PyCharm, I will now see that that is imported here from my time library. All right, and so I'm going to go ahead and, well, the reason it didn't update actually, you guys, is because I didn't check it out. If I right click on it and I say check out this commit, give it a second. It is now, if I go to PyCharm and give it a second, I only see that part of the program. If I run that part of the program by running it, it is printing out my first line, sleeping for a second, and then pulling up my second line. That's exactly what I asked it to do in the program. I'm going to head back to my commits here, and my last commit for my welcome was kind of importing Colorama to add some colors. All right, so I'm going to right click on this, check out this commit. Takes a second to check it out. All right, and once it's checked out, I will be able to now come over to my file, and it shows that I added some color to my text here. If I head over to my PyCharm and give it a second, you can see now that my Colorama is there. If I run my file or program, I now have some blue on my program, still with the sleep for 1 second. Awesome. I'm going to head back to Get Crackin'. I'm going to close this file, and I'm going to go ahead and look at my welcome. It comes up here. I added a sleep a second after it. I updated it. So I right click and I'm going to go ahead and check out welcome. This checks out my welcome branch up here. I give it a second. Get Crackin' has to do its magic. I now put a print statement sleep after it. And it only shows me what I added here. If I go to my file view, I can see my whole file. Diff view, for this commit, all I did was add that. If I go to PyCharm, give it a second, and I see that sleep there now. All right, so then when I got done with that, you guys, we merged this welcome into our beta test dev. All right, into it, and we tested it out and things work good. We'll come back to our beta test dev here in a second. I'm now going to go to my gas. All right, this is another branch. We have another team working on our gas. So I'm going to follow my purple line across, and you can see that one of my first commits was this gas level function defined and is stable. I'm going to right click and choose check out that commit. I have to wait for GitKraken to do its magic. But once it does its magic, I can now see with my file the diff, what I added. I added an import random library, added a function called gas level gauge. I can now head over to PyCharm, give it a second, and now I just see this file. I can run it with an F10 on my keyboard, and it says that I have a quarter tank based on the output of my gas level gauge. Pretty cool. So now I'm going to head on back to GitKraken, and I'm not going to go through all of our commits for our gas because we have a few, but here I added, well, I guess I can show you this real quick. If I just click on this, I don't have to check it out. I can see that here I added a function called gas level alert. All right. If I close that and then just click on the next one, I completed the gas level alert function and it's stable. All right, so if I go here, I can see that I've added my gas level alert with all of my other functions there. And if I click on my next one, I added the gas station list to it. All right, so it's probably going to show us in green that I've added a gas level list, and there it is right there. All right. And then if I head back to, oh, I need to close this, my fault, close that. And if I check out my added miles variable, again, this is showing me all the different versions of my program. I got a backup. So I've got my random int there for my random miles that we use. But I'm going to go ahead and check out my gas branch. All right, so it takes a second. I have my check mark there now. I went and I'm going to go and look at my PyCharm, give it a second to update it. There's my whole program now in PyCharm. I'm going to run it with an F10 key. And it tells me that, warning, you're on empty. Press it again, warning, you're on empty. Press it again, I'm on a full tank. I'm on a half a tank. I'm on an empty one. I'm going to try to get to my where I'm low, and it calls a random choice, quarter tank, half a tank, quarter tank. You're on empty. We're getting close. It's going randomly doing this, so it may take a second. You're probably hey, there we go. So you're on, your gas tank is extremely low, and then it calls this. I'm going to have to go to Meyer, which is 15.5 miles away. Make sure I have enough gas to get there. All right. So that is my program. When we got done doing our gas, thank you for letting me know that. We then got done with it. We needed to merge that in our beta test dev. All right. So I'm going to check my beta test dev out. We merged it into it. We already had our welcome into it, so if I go look at PyCharm now, it has our welcome branch, and it also has our gas branch. And we wanted to test it out in our beta test development first. So I'm going to press my F10 key to call it. Welcome to Hornets Infotech Center. It slept a second. Hornets operating system booting up. It slept a second, according to my program there. And if I press it again, you can see it sleeping for a second and then calling our functions from our gas. And things are working good. Things are stable. We've tested it a few times. Now that we've tested it in our beta test dev, then it was time for us to merge that into our master or our main, depending on what version of GitKraken you're using. And that then again is being pushed out to our users. People out there with their cars, they start their car up the next day after they get some downloads from the cloud showing that they are on a new version of their Infotech Center. Would you like to install it? Sure. And now you have an update to your program. That's kind of where we are at so far. Everything seems to be going well. We had to merge a couple things, but things are working well on our program. Thank you for hanging out. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions about any vlogs that I've done, hey, go to my contact me page and send me a quick contact form, and I would love to talk with you about any of my projects. Have a great one, and keep making mistakes and learning from our mistakes.